Hello and welcome to Top Table Duels. This is our first time conducting a actual live over recording of a match. So if you guys like this format and you want to hear more of me talk and narrate some of these Top Table Duels or even some of our more fun duels that we record, please let me know in the comments below. If you don't like it, you can also let me know in the comments below. I do read everything you guys put on there, and I try to continue to grow the channel in a meaningful way so you guys feel like it's worth coming back and watching the content. So for today's duel we're going to be looking at on Christmas Day is going to be Mariah-carey versus Jake125. So Mariah-carey is, I think right now he's in the top 10. He's going to be playing a fairly unique Tearlament build, which is different from the most I've ever seen. You'll see it's a little bit of a spicy trap build. And then Jake125 is playing a fairly, what looks to be standard Swordsoul build. Of note, neither of them are playing any bestial monsters, which is definitely an interesting change of pace. So I'm going to go ahead and kick this off so you don't have to listen to me intro too much right off the bat. So first thing, unique Rainbow Bridge Salvation. He is playing that. I'm guessing it's just to get into the field spell fairly quickly. He's going to kick it off with Instant Fusion, which is by far probably one of the best ways to get into it. You don't have to waste any of your Tearlaments cards. You don't have to give your opponent any sort of advantage in the grave unless they're working with their own Havinous. So here we're going to work through the mill 8 play. He's gonna set up his chain links real fast inside there, but now we're seeing, so he's playing the Gravekeeper trap, which is obviously fairly powerful, but he's also, the Crystal Beast Tortoise with his Rainbow Bridge Salvation, I'm guessing, because you have to add a Crystal Beast. So he's playing one Aqua, fits right into the categories. So he's going to set up his chain links here. Gonna make his opponent also mill 10. Just going to fast forward through both their mill 10s. Kind of resolves his own stuff real quickly there, setting up his chains. Havinous, Sharon, Solik. So he's going to try to get into multiple fusions quite quickly. Obviously his opponent here, Jake, sitting on top of his Dark Ruler no more. Ready to go second. Milled a little bit of his Tenyi engine, so, and as well as his Blackout. So he's got a way into moving forward if he loses his token, although he lost one of his ties. I think, he lost both of his ties. So even having Blackout in the graveyard isn't going to do him too much advantage, because even if his token gets disrupted by Rukalos, he's not going to be able to have one to even go into the banish it. Unless he plays a third. I don't see a lot of Swordsoul builds playing 3, maining 3, but since he's not playing the Bastille engine, or Bastille, let me know in the comments below how y'all pronounce it. Show me those phonetic spellings. Since he's not playing that engine, he definitely has more room to kind of play around with it. So he goes into Sprite here instead of going into Sprined to try to trigger off another Sin. I'm guessing, he hadn't had his Merly in grave yet. So he sets it up. He's got his Pralino, he's got his Trap Trick, and his Effect Negate through Solik. This is a fairly impressive board. He's going to banish 10 with only 14 left. You know, what he's digging for that's going to get him out of this, he's got to have, a Mo Yi's not going to help. He can start bouncing Vishuda. Vishuda's really going to be his only out to Rukalos, sort of in this situation. And then he pots in a pot. Yeah, you just gotta kind of hang up your hand on that one. Yeah, he could have Dark Rulered. He could have possibly tried to play it out. His opponent already knew what he was playing, so he already had game state knowledge. Though I feel like Jake probably could have played it out a little bit. Not that he had a great way into outing that board. He was probably looking down, assuming his opponent was sitting on Solik as well as Scream. He's probably thinking, hey, no matter what I play into here, I'm just going to burn through my resources. I'm probably going to be left with one Synchro to try to make this play work. in which case my opponent's already, you know, has multiple in hand. He's going to power right through. So we'll go into the next game. Jake hung that up real fast. Let's go into game 2. And his opponent opens Havness. So we're going to see a lot of playing on the opponent's turn. I will say, so he's going to let Sylvan, he's got nothing to stop this. Fiend Comedian, though. Toss a coin, call it right. All your opponent's cards in the graveyard are removed. Call it wrong. Send a number of cards equal to the opponent's graveyard from deck and graveyard. So that's a little dangerous. But he's playing a 60-card build, so I don't think he's worried too much about like trying to maybe deck himself out or getting into a dangerous spot. So we're going to start off with a fairly standard 10E play. He's going into Longyuan first. It's obviously that's a better play if he, depending on who he goes into. Yeah, so he basically wants to get the free draws. He's going to try to gain his advantage by using Mo-Yi second, bring out his opponent. But little does he know, Havness is gonna drop down the moment he goes on Mo-Yi. Yeah, that's got to be. Yeah, so Havness is, depending on how lucky is Havness, and then Kelback right off the top. Yep. I do love the Shadal Dragon aspect of this. Just using that free system to kind of pop back row as your opponent's setting up, knowing that you can just go into your opponent as they set up. It's unlikely that an opponent's going to set that early on. Obviously, in a play in main 1 on turn 1. No, you usually set until you've done building your board. He had nothing, obviously, to play into and to set, but that is, especially with Needlebug Nest, too, kind of going into Dragons. I don't know how many he's playing in this one. But I think Mariah-Carey's got a good thought process on that. If you're going to play Shadal's, I mean, you could even play Squamata, and then you could toolbox whatever you needed off of Squamata. I don't know if that's an idea maybe he's toyed with a little bit. If you need the draw, get the draw. If you need the back row pop, get the back row pop. Or even playing... chat, let me know what's the... I can't remember her name. Windy? Shadal Windy, I think is the one where you go when it goes to graveyard, you can special summon a Shadal in face of attack, face down defense. Let me know in the comments below. I can't remember her name right off the top. So here he goes into Winda, and then he's gonna burn his one special summon. So he's basically saying, "Hey, I'm done." And then Kaleido Heart. If for me, I'm going after the token here, because he. Yeah, if it were me, I'm going after the token, although he does, because even if he uses either of his 10Es, there's nothing he can do. I mean, obviously he lost his Kick Kalos to Longyuan, but if you hit that token, you know that there isn't really anything that your opponent can do. So play it out here. Marker is gonna obviously call thing. Yeah, going after token. That's a smart play. Definitely gonna kind of lock your opponent out, because at this point, your opponent only has one special summon left. So getting into another tuner is going to be near impossible. You've already burned Longyuan's effect to banish Kick Kalos. Hurts the longevity of the deck a little bit, obviously, but they have a lot more capability. So they're gonna banter each other a little bit. I'm just gonna fast forward through that. So obviously he's gonna banish the Vishuda, bounce it, and then he's gonna leave. He's gonna have to leave Winda. There's nothing he can do about Winda. He's gonna burn his one special summon to get Shana, and this one is should his monster special summon it. And then you can destroy one card of your opponent. Okay, so he's trying to set himself up for some recursion should he live through his opponent's next turn. At this point, he's got to be thinking, well, there's not a lot my opponent has going for him. I've cut off his engine. And even if he has another play, he's going to have to burn his own window off the field before going into another fusion play. Okay, Kalos is back, or is gone, which means Rakalos is gone. So he's going to need at least 3 resources to go into another Tearlament fusion. So he was in a good spot. Foolish Burial Goods. I think, yeah, so now we're going to get to see that Crystal Beast engine kind of kick off. I don't think Jake kind of know. I think he saw it last. No, he saw the Crystal Beast, but he didn't see the bridge. So he didn't see Rainbow Bridge of Salvation. So Jake obviously probably didn't know. He maybe had that capability, or maybe he's seen it before. But at this point, he's gonna pass turn. He didn't use a special summon that turn, but he's staring down that Fiend Comedian. That's a gross card. It calls heads. Are the cards? Can he do it? He cannot, but that just means he gets to mill 9. And oh no, he is playing Squamata. Look at that. All right, so I stand corrected. He is playing the Squamata, so he can toolbox anything he needs. Happen to mill all 3 though. That's that. All right, so he activated Squamata, so now he has to send, but I think that's just gonna be he's gonna have no target probably. Actually, oh no, he can put. Yeah. Yep, so he said, I'm just making sure, oh wow. So Jake's kind of firing at him, saying, oh, you just can't do it. Because instead of saying he couldn't resolve it, he just continued resolving the chain without it, instead of saying no legal targets. It's probably better you say, hey, like, no legal targets left. I have no targets left in my deck. That's probably the better way to do that. Say, hey, got nothing left in my deck, nothing I can do about it. So he sets that back row. I mean, I'm assuming he thinks he's setting that back row as a bit of a way to maybe try to threaten his opponent. But seeing obviously that your opponent has multiple Ishizu cards. No, I say multiple. He has only 1 left to basically kind of put back part of your Shadal engine, knowing that you can just pop it off, is a little dangerous to me. It goes into dark. He's got no targets in Jake's grave. That's not what he needed. He just needed a Needlebug, and of course, he hits the rest of his Return to Shizu engine, and he manages to hit them early. Okay. And he okay, so he hits the Scream. I'm guessing he's got no. It's interesting he didn't chain link anything to possibly get his Commander's back and get anything back, so Scream could have resolved. Yeah, he didn't attempt anything to try to get Scream to resolve, but I'm guessing he kind of sees that the game is over a little bit. I don't know. He's got Havness in hand. So now he does it. That's interesting that he didn't do it before when Scream hit. Yeah, it's interesting that he didn't set up the chain link before, so when Scream hit, he could have set up the trap. Yeah, I find that interesting that he did that. There's a lot of back and forth going on in there. Maybe he's a little bit distracted. They're definitely living in the Christmas spirit. All right. So he's gonna send back a few. No Tearlaments, so Fieldspell's not gonna go off. So he's gonna take. He's gonna use the Predator Plant. Obviously, that doesn't matter. So he's gonna take Sheeran. Go into Draco Berserker. He's gonna try to use this to clear it out. I see what he's doing. Obviously, he wants to try to force his opponent into using an effect, but the field spell knocks it out. So at this point, he just has to pass turn. No cards in hand, nothing to do. Opponent's got field spell. Dark is going to revive the Tenyi, and then he's going to kill him with it. Oh, he's calling him out, saying, hey, you didn't declare it. And then he's going to scoop it up. All right, well, that is definitely a unique build. Marcus says, Merry Christmas. All right. Definitely a unique build of Tearlament. I don't fully think that engine is necessary, especially on the chance that you mill Tortoise. I don't know if the Crystal Bliss engine potentially makes it better. Let me know in the comments below if which build you think is better. Obviously, no Bestial on this one. I have to say that this version, it didn't ceiling off as high as some of the just all monster versions I've seen. And I think the counter tier version might be a little bit better. But I mean, Mariah-Carey, again, as high rank as he is, he knows what he's doing. He's probably faced the mirror match at this point hundreds of times. So he probably sees it as the better option. I do love the Shadal engine coming in. The ability, as I said before, you know, you should play Squamata. Obviously, he's 3 of them, the 1 dragon. Yeah, that's just being able to go into either a pop or a draw is an amazing play, man. So thank you all for watching with me on this one. I hope you liked it. If you did, please consider giving me a subscribe and a like on this video. It goes a long ways towards helping me continue pushing out this content to you. And I hope you all have a Merry Christmas, and I'm out.
Thank you for watching. Try some of these other great duels. If you like what you saw, give us a like and subscribe.